Hey, this is Brian from Art Party Unlimited. I'd like to help you out with one of the biggest challenges that new painters have when they're learning to paint Bob Ross's Happy Little Trees. We all love Bob's Happy Little Trees, and we all seem to want to measure our success as a painter on whether or not we can do them like Bob. So if you've been having some difficulties, let me show you a really easy way to do these, okay? So we're going to start with a number 6 fan brush. You can use a number 3 fan brush or whatever size fan brush you happen to have laying around the house. It's just nice if it's got firm bristles. So we're going to pull a little bit of paint into the end of our bristles. We're going to load both sides. So flip it over, pull that paint down, flip it over, pull it down, and make sure that you have a nice amount of paint in the bristles of your brush. Okay, so let's get started here. I've got an old practice canvas here that I like to throw up here from time to time. And when I'm done with it, I just scrape off the paint, wipe it off, keep it around in case I want to learn something new. I suggest you do the same. Okay, so the way that we're going to start this is we're going to come up here, we're going to make ourselves a guideline, which will end up becoming our trunk. So we come over to the canvas with our bristles up and down, perpendicular to the floor, and we're going to rotate our brush up just a little bit, so we're using the top corner of the brush, and we're going to just put a couple little guide marks there. And if you want, you can draw the whole length of the trunk that you have, if that helps guide you along. I still do it, and I've been painting for a long time, and I still like to do it this way, whereas Bob would just put like maybe 1 or 2 taps up there, whatever you're most comfortable with. So I'm a left-hander, so I'm going to show you the way I hold my brush, but just realize that if you're a right-hander, it's just the opposite. So I'm going to rotate my brush to the left about 45 degrees, and then I'm going to rotate it downward. So if you're a right-hander, rotate it to the right side and then down 45 degrees, okay? With your right hand, not your left hand, because that makes it awkward, okay? So I'm going to come up here with my left hand. So now I've got only my corner of my brush is pointed toward that canvas. Okay, that's very important. You don't want your whole bristles of your brush pointed like that. So you want to make sure only the corner of your brush is rotated toward that canvas. Now here's the big trick to help new painters get their trees right, okay? See, watch what I do with this brush. I'm going to rotate this brush back just a little bit, okay? Rotate it back just a little bit. And then we're going to just come up here and we're going to very lightly touch that canvas and pull away. We're not going to stroke the canvas. We're just going to touch the canvas and pull directly away. And that leaves us a first little teeny tiny branch up at the top with some of that new spring growth up there. Now we're just going to come down again. We're going to kind of touch down that guideline, and then maybe we're going to walk out a little bit to the left. And then we come down, maybe we'll push a little firmer. We'll get it out to the right, and then down we go, back and forth, to put in our trees. Now when you start running out of paint, flip that brush over, because you don't ever want to try to do a tree when you don't have enough paint on your brush. So now as we go, you can just kind of walk it out a little further, and you can press a little bit harder to make those bristles put more and more paint out on the canvas. Now look how easy that is. Okay, that's about as easy as it gets, folks. I've got a little brush down here, a little scrubby grass, okay? But everybody needs a friend, so we can't be done yet. Bob always said, even trees need friends. And so while you're painting, just a composition tip is it kind of looks odd in a painting if you only have one tree hanging out. So you give your trees some friends. And the way you do that is you just do the exact same procedure. Give yourself a little guideline and then rotate your brush 45 to the side and 45 down and start touching your canvas and pulling away. Now, don't get cocky, because if you're not paying attention to what that brush is doing, it's not going to turn out right, okay? It's very important that you follow this procedure. And now, look how quickly we can pull in a second tree. Hey, just for a quick lesson, let's see how quickly we can put in a third one. Oh, let's make this guy a different size. All right, now look, when you get a little more practiced, you can just knock these trees out in a heartbeat, okay? There's nothing to them, and then they'll no longer be a challenge for you. They will be as easy as pie. If you follow this procedure, you can do this the same way every time. Your trees are going to look great. Just make sure they don't look exactly the same. Give them a little variety when you put the little branches in there. And I think that you're going to be very happy with your trees. I think they'll just please you like punch, and your friends are going to love what you do with these canvases. So thanks for joining me today. I hope that helps you solve one of the biggest challenges we see in class with Bob's Happy Little Trees. Have a great day.